I've had many hard discussions about race, and one discussion really sticks out. We had a respectful, meaningful, and hard discussion, ending agreeing to disagree. I get hope because the next time we met, they apologized and acknowledged that there is work to do, not only within themselves, but within the established structures. This is where I get my hope. Through respectful, meaningful, and hard discussions, the Spirit works, giving me hope for the future.
We were at church and there was this girl, she was living out in a car with her son, and Mom helped him out. So, gives me hope.
When you think of what would make you hopeful, what do you think that world's gonna look like?
More like people that aren't white are gonna be able to start getting more jobs that they usually can't get because of their skin color or race, and more jobs will be open, more people start working, everything will start getting better in general.
Do you feel welcomed and loved at Cross?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because nobody judges me or anything, so that also helps.
This gives me hope. Sharing my story with you gives me hope. The church willing to listen to different voices gives me hope. The church willing to have the hard conversations. And yes, the work is just beginning and we must get better at it. But God walking with us, while at the same time, that same God is waiting for us in the future, that gives me hope.
One of the things that definitely gives me hope is having an anti-racism team, both at the Synod level and those of us who are working with respect to the gold consultant work, and that on so many levels, there are still epiphanies from people of color, people from the dominant culture, but us being able to sit with what is being said, not to judge it, but just to accept it as it is, and then look at places where there's further growth. It reminds me of the Appalachia mission trip we did with our partner First United of Sheboygan, and how we met in each other's houses for about 4 or 5 months, building collegiality, building relationships with one another just because we weren't familiar with each other, to go to a place that historically has had bad stereotypes about what it's really like, but for all of us to be pleasantly surprised and to understand that we had a common mission, and everyone came back with understanding this is what it's about in being church, being family together. And wherever you come from, it matters in the sense that we bring different diversity together, but it's more than skin deep. It's blood deep.
When a team that I am on at Our Savior's Lutheran Church called Mission Possible was able to sponsor and bring in a trans person to have multiple talks at our church, I never thought in a million years that our church in conservative Waukesha County would allow this. The outpouring of support from our congregation has helped me to realize that anything is possible and that even little things can make a big difference in opening mine and other people's eyes to new beginnings.
Hope comes from my faith in the promise of God's grace and vision for the world. I also receive hope from the generations coming after me who have a view of the world that is much more inclusive and grace-filled than the one I grew up in. I have also experienced the newer generations to be much less tolerant than my generation of views that judge others and don't accept people as they are. And of course, hope comes from those who engage in the struggle, which circles back to giving me the courage to engage in this work as well.
Hope. Hope can be a hard thing for me to find sometimes. It gets lost in the ever-constant state of violence and inequality that this world is in. I find hope, though, in the thought that one day there will be a little mixed girl that will never have to wake up hating herself based off of her skin color or her hair texture, or go through the world with constant anxiety of whether she is enough, or if people are judging her, and hopefully never have to live in an unequal system based on race and culture.